Hola, soy yo, Vicky, otra vez. Y en el video de hoy, today's video, we're going to look at stress. Are you stressed? Not that sort of stress. The stress that we put on the words, the Spanish words, when we pronounce them. Now, you may or may not know that there are only 3 pronunciation rules in Spanish. The first one is that any word that ends in any vowel or N or S, when we pronounce the word, we stress the penultimate syllable. In other words, the last but one syllable. The second pronunciation rule for Spanish is words ending in any other consonant, apart from N or S, we stress on the last syllable. A syllable is a part of a word. For those of you who don't know, most words are divided into syllables. For example, let's think of an example, hospital. So you've got, if you ever used to watch Give Us a Clue years ago, if you're old like me. So what was the word that I said? Hospital. So hospital, 3 syllables, okay? Now, so any word that ends in N or S or any vowel, we stress on the last but one syllable, and a word ending in any other consonant apart from N or S, we stress on the last syllable in Spanish. Any exceptions to these 2 rules are marked by an accent. So that's the purpose of accents, or one of the purposes of accents, to tell us where to put the stress on a word when we pronounce it, if it's not the normal place that we would normally stress. Now, this probably sounds very confusing. I know when I was learning Spanish, I sort of totally forgot about accents for quite a long time because I thought it was just too much to deal with everything else. But obviously they are important for the pronunciation. And the thing is, in Spanish, because Spanish is relatively easy to pronounce because it has rules, it's phonetic. Unfortunately, if you do stress a word on the wrong syllable, even though you might think, oh my God, it sounds practically the same, it's the slightest difference, but it really can lead to you being completely misunderstood. So that's one of the purpose of accents in Spanish, to show us where to stress the word if it's not the normal place. There is another purpose to accents in Spanish, which is to tell us the difference between 2 words that are spelt the same, which is very rare in Spanish to have 2 same words with different meanings. But we do. There's like sí. Sí with an accent is yes, sí without an accent is if. There's el. El with an accent is he. El without an accent is the. But there's no other way we can pronounce those words, so we don't have to worry about the pronunciation of them. It's only if we're writing it down we have to perhaps remember to put our accent. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out for you. You need a pen and paper if you want to participate in this game. I'm going to read out for you 18 words in Spanish. Some have accents, some don't have accents. And I want you, bearing in mind the rules that I gave you about pronunciation, bearing in mind, taking those into account, I want you to write down these words, try and spell them. Remember, Spanish is phonetics, so even if they're words you've not heard before, you should be able to spell them, or at least pretty close. There's only a couple of letters that are a little bit tricky. Most of it is quite easy. You should be able to spell out the words okay if you've got a basic knowledge of Spanish. Anyway, even if you haven't, just write them out as they sound, and you will probably be right. As I said, might be the odd tricky letter in there, but most of it. Anyway, it's good practice, because even if you spell it wrong, when you look at it, that helps you with the sounds. When you see what the letter was compared to the letter you've written down, that will help you with the sound of Spanish. You have to excuse me a little bit, so I have got a little rana in mi garganta, a little bit of a frog in my throat today. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to read out the 18 words. I want you to write them down as best you can. Remember, I'm going to repeat them twice before, so if you don't catch the word, just move on to the next one. Don't stress if you like trying to work out what it was, because then you'll have missed the ones that are coming after. So just write them down this first time as well as you can. So you need 18 spaces, 18 lines. There's going to be 18 words. If you don't catch it, just leave it, move on to the next one, because I will be coming back to read them again. Vale, okay, ¿estáis listos? Are you all ready? Número 1. Vale, número 1, pájaro. ¿Vale? Pájaro. Número 2, cucaracha. Cucaracha. Número 3, lámpara. Lámpara. Número 4, ordenador. Ordenador. Número 5, botella. Botella. Número 6, música. Música. Número 7, teléfono. Teléfono. Número 8, catálogo. Catálogo. Número 9, patata. Patata. Número 10, máquina. Máquina. Número 11, silla. Silla. Número 12, armario. Armario. Número 13, bolígrafo. Bolígrafo. Número 14, útil. Útil. Número 15, fácil. Fácil. Número 16, cómodo. Cómodo. Número 17, flores. Flores. Y 18, número 18, ningún. Ningún. Okay. Did you get them all down, or get something down for all of them? I just have a little bit of water before I read them again. As I say, un pequeña rana en la garganta. Okay. So, hopefully you've got something down for all of them. You may have all of them. Now you've got to decide where to put your stress or your accent, if you think there is an accent. They haven't all got accents. At the end, I will tell you how many, at the end of repeating them, before I give you the answers, I will tell you how many do have accents so you can make sure you've got the right number. But obviously, I won't tell you which ones until the end. Okay, so I'm going to just repeat them now. Número uno, pájaro. Número dos, cucaracha. Número tres, lámpara. Número cuatro, ordenador. Número cinco, botella. Número seis, música. Número siete, teléfono. Número ocho, catálogo. Número nueve, patata. Número 10, máquina. Número 11, silla. Número 12, armario. Número 13, bolígrafo. Número 14, útil. Número 15, fácil. Número 16, cómodo. Número 17, flores. Número 18, ningún. Okay, now I'm going to tell you how many have accents. How many have you got? Don't forget to let me know in comments how you did. I'm always interested to know. Okay, now you should have 11 once acentos. 11 tildes or accents, or however you want to call them. So, how many of you got? Have you got 11 out of 18 with an accent? Are they the right ones that you've put an accent on? Okay, if you haven't sort of finished checking them over, now's the time to pause the video because I am going to give you the answers now. Okay, so number one, do them two at a time. So we had number one, pájaro. Number two, cucaracha. Now, did you get these words? A pájaro is, of course, a bird, if you didn't know. P-A-J-A-R-O. And the accent is on the A, because otherwise it would be pájaro, which actually I think is quite rude in Spanish. So, pájaro. And the second word, which didn't have an accent, my least favourite creature in the whole world, a cockroach, cucaracha. So this has the natural stress on the last but one syllable. Yeah, I should really have underlined where the stress was. But anyway, you can see with the accent, the the A in pájaro needs an accent because the natural stress would be on the second A, whereas cucaracha is correct. How did you get on with those two? Don't forget to let me know how you get on. Okay, número tres was lámpara and número cuatro, ordenador. And lámpara needs an accent because otherwise it would be lampara. So our stress is on the first syllable, in fact, lámpara. Whereas ordenador, our stress is on the penultimate syllable, the A. So it's correct. We don't need an accent. That would be where we would naturally stress. So, sorry, lámpara. Practice spelling them out. It's a good revision of the alphabet. L-A con acento M-P-A-R-A. Ordenador, O-R-D-E-N-A-D-O-R. I think that frog is turning into a toad. It's because I'm using my voice, obviously. I've got a bit of laryngitis, I think. Not good for a teacher. Pero bueno. Oh, and the next ones we had were número 5, botella, y número 6, música. One of those has an accent. Which one is it? Well, it's not botella, because A, botella, B-O-T-E-L-A. It's the normal, natural stress. Whereas musica needs an accent on the U, because otherwise it'd be musica. It'd be slightly different. Okay, so botella no, música sí. M-U-S-I-C-A. Oh, moment. Sorry, I've gone to the end. Okay, y número 7 was teléfono, y número 8 was catálogo. Now, both these have an accent. Did you have an accent? And did you have it in the right place? So, teléfono. So it's not telefono, it's teléfono. Catálogo, not catalogo. I had a personal experience with pronouncing this wrong when somebody couldn't understand what I was saying. And you think, oh, well, it's so similar. How can they not understand, that you're saying catalogo? But no, you're saying catalogo, they won't understand. So, teléfono, T-E-L-E con acento F-O-N-O, catálogo, C-A-T-O con acento L-O-G-O. How is your alphabet? There is, of course, a video of the alphabet. All my Break the Language barrier books, levels 1 to 4, which are available on Amazon, are all backed up by YouTube videos. If you're not sure how to find these videos, please just drop me a comment, send me a message, send me an email, and I will send you the playlist or the relevant link to whichever video it is you want to watch. Okay, so número 9 was patata, y número 10 was máquina. One of these has an accent. And it is, of course, máquina. Patata, the natural stress. P-A-T-A-T-A. Whereas máquina, it's not máquina. That would be how it should be pronounced if it didn't have an accent, with the stress on the penultimate syllable. But the accent on the A, the first A, tells us to stress the first syllable. Máquina. M-A-Q-U-I-N-A. Okay, then we had flores y ningún. One of them has an accent, and it is, of course, ningún. Because flores, no, it ends in an S, so it's stressed on the last but one syllable, flores. Whereas ningún ends in an N, so normally it would be stressed on the I, but to tell us to stress the end of the word, we have an accent, ningún. Then we had fácil y cómodo, and both of those have an accent, but where? Fácil, cómodo. So, the accent on the first A, or the only A in fácil, tells us to stress the first syllable. And the same with the accent on the O. Cómodo tells us to stress the first syllable rather than the penultimate syllable, whereas in fácil, it tells us to stress the first syllable rather than the last syllable. Okay, of course I haven't told you what they all mean, but anyway, you can look them up. So this is not about what they mean, this is about listening exercise, and really it's a listening and a pronunciation exercise. So the next ones were bolígrafo and útil. Both have accents. So, bolígrafo, on the I in the middle of the word to tell us to stress the penultimate syllable, otherwise it'd be bolígrafo. Yeah, slight differences, but so important. Útil. The accent tells us to stress the first syllable rather than the last syllable, even though it ends in a consonant. Bolígrafo, B-O-L-I-G-R-A-F-O, útil, U-T-I-L. Oh, I've gone round the wrong way, haven't I? Sorry. I've I had them all in the wrong order, but anyway, you've got all the words, so let's see. That's an added challenge, you know, my videos wouldn't just be boring if I got everything right. The number 11, which was from a while ago, is silla. And number 12, armario. No accents on either of these. Their stress is in the correct place. Silla, S-I-L-A, armario, A-M-A-R-I-O. Okay, so did I actually read them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I ended up doing the last ones sort of in the middle, didn't I? Right, let's go through them all in the proper order now, and then you can check. Sorry to try, I've probably driven you mad. Okay, so we've got pájaro, cucaracha, lámpara, ordenador, botella, música, teléfono, catálogo, patata, máquina, silla, armario, bolígrafo, útil, fácil, cómodo, flores, ningún, or ningún, I should say. Okay, so how did you do? Todos correctos? Let me know in comments. Yeah, sorry about that, a little bit in the wrong order. I'm sure that's really annoyed you, but it gives you a little extra challenge, and surely it's nice to know that nobody gets everything perfectly correct, do they? Including me. Okay, in fact, I very rarely get everything correct when I do a video, as I'm sure you'll know if you're a regular watcher to my channel. Vale, ok, ya está. So, te veo muy pronto en el próximo video. No olvides thumbs up if you found this video useful. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's completely free, but it really helps me out. Vale, muchas gracias por mirar. Te veo muy pronto en el próximo video. Y como siempre, que tu Dios vaya contigo. Gracias.